Hi everybody. Okay, you're probably wondering why I look like this, but I'm just practicing my Halloween makeup that I'm wearing tonight. When I go out, this is going to be on both sides of my face. I've just leaned in. As you can see, it's special effects makeup. This is Ben Nye Scar and Nose Wax with the Spirit Gum first, then the Ben Nye Skin and Scar and Nose Wax over it, then liquid latex. Then my foundation put over it to colour it into my skin tone. Then slowly did a cut in it, filled it up with fresh scratch, which is like coagulated blood. It dries very, very quickly. I did put a bit of black gel eyeliner in the cut to make it look darker, to give it depth. Then I put this runny blood in, which is actually dry now. It's quite sticky, but you know. Then I used different coloured grease paints to create a bruised effect. It went from reddish colour to a purplish colour to a yellowy, greenish yellow colour to a yellow colour, and faded it all out and onto my lips as well, and then sealed it with a set colour, a neutral, Ben Nye setting powder, which looks white in the tub, but it's actually colourless, so it doesn't take away from any of the colours. So this is going to be on both sides of my face. Probably going to do something else on my face, I'm not quite sure, and I'm going to do a vertical slit coat instead of like one like that. So yeah, I just wanted to practice it this morning because I had nothing better to do. And I just remembered that somebody asked me to do this video, and I thought I'd get it done this morning before Darren wakes up. So I'm doing it now. And so yeah, you have to bear with me with this makeup on my face because I have to take it off with Mastix remover because of the liquid latex, and that would take a little bit of time. So by the time I'd have it off, Darren would be awake. So yeah. Anyway, as you all know, well, most of you know, I have epilepsy. I have junior myoclonic epilepsy, and I've had it for 10 years. My dad also has the same epilepsy, though we have different kinds of seizures. Um, my dad mainly has tonic-clonic seizures. He has had um, myoclonic seizures. Tonic-clonics used to be called grand mal seizures, and myoclonics used to be called petit mal seizures. But the names have changed here in Ireland to be more fitting, and yeah, just to be more sensitive to people with epilepsy. Excuse me for one second. Just bring my glass of water over. And I also have absent seizures, and my dad doesn't have those. And my dad doesn't really get an aura where before his seizures, so he could be standing up 1 second and then go bam onto the floor and have a seizure. So he usually has his seizures in bed. So usually he's in a safe place. Um, I usually have a bout of myoclonic seizures before I go into a tonic-clonic seizure, so it gives me a bit of time to get somewhere safe. Like I had one in college the other day, well not the other day, like a couple of weeks ago, and I always use the disabled bathroom. No matter where I go, I always use the disabled bathroom because it's the safest option for me. And I'm not sure if that the oil van has just the oil truck has just pulled up, and I'm not sure if it's for us. Okay. Um. Anyway, I really don't know if it's for us or not, or a neighbor maybe. Um. Anyway, um. I had a seizure anyway. I went into a bout of myoclonics, so I pulled the alarm in the disabled toilet and got down on the ground, so I wouldn't fall on the ground and smash my head off um, the ground and hurt myself. So I was safe. Um, Obviously, I woke up and I had no idea where I was, but Anyway, the video is that somebody asked me what are the side effects I suffer from the tablets I take. The tablets I take are Zonegran, and I can actually push them out here for you. I take 300 milligrams of Zonegran twice a day, and the highest dosage you're supposed to take with Zonegran is 250 but my epileptologist has put me on 300 milligrams twice a day. So, and I have been told this by my pharmacist. So, you know, and I take 10 milligrams of Frisium twice a day. And Frisium is used to kind of like calm down the electrical activity in your brain, and just calm down your brain um, to prevent a seizure. And Zonegran is just a anticonvulsant. I've had my medication changed a lot. I have literally been through most of the medications I can take for my type of epilepsy, and so I've been through a lot of different side effects. But I will say this, you could line 10 people up with the same epilepsy as me, junior myoclonic epilepsy, and give them all, this tablet, and you will get 10 different answers as to how they feel on this tablet. You know, somebody will be like, it's absolutely fantastic, you know, and somebody will be like, it does not work for me at all. For me, it's quite good. It's controlling my seizures quite well. When I first started out on it, my body was like, what the hell are you doing to me? I was so nauseous, I was throwing up, you know, and that was just my body getting used to the tablet. And then when my dosage gets, you know, is put higher, I get that nauseous feeling as well. When I take my tablets in the morning and the evening, I tend to get a bit of almost acid reflux a little bit. You know, my stomach kind of hurts and I get a bit of heartburn. So I tend to either, you know, chew a Rennie tablet or try and drink a glass of milk. And I drink a lot of water as well, and that's important as well. Don't drink too much water, because that drinking too much water can actually provoke seizure. But I drink a lot of water because epilepsy tablets can take a kicking on your kidneys. So it's good to, you know, drink a lot of water when you're taking anticonvulsants. I was on Epilem Chrono. That was the first tablet I was on, and it turned me into a zombie. I was on a very, very high dose of it, and I was falling asleep at school. I was coming home and sleeping. At first it started off with like a half an hour nap, and then I'd come downstairs, have my dinner, do my homework and everything. Then it turned into like 3 hour naps, and I would have my dinner, do my homework and sleep the whole night, and it was very hard to wake me in the morning. And I was literally just like a walking dead. My mum thought I was on drugs at the time, as in like not the drugs that I'm prescribed, which was quite funny actually. I was like, no, I'm not on drugs. I said, I'm only taking the drugs I'm prescribed, like. And I just had to go to my neurologist and say, these tablets are not working out. Like I'm like a zombie. Um, then I was put on frick, what is it called? Oh, I can't remember because it's so long ago, but I broke out in a rash. I was put on Tegretol, and I was on that for a good while because my dad is on Tegretol. He's been on it for such a long time. And it was actually an accident that he was put on it. His GP put him on it back in like the 60s, I think. Not in the 60s, no, in the 70s. And it just worked for him, like, you know. And it's not a very common, well, back then it wasn't a common medicine to use for people with epilepsy. And now it is, because they found out that it does actually work for people with certain types of epilepsy, especially junior myoclonic epilepsy. And it was working for me for a while, but then it became toxic in my blood. I started getting blurred vision. It happened when I was at my friend's. Two of my friends that obviously got married in Las Vegas, and they came back over to Ireland. They're now living in San Francisco, but they came back over for their reception. They had a reception back in Galway, and we were standing there, and they had like bands playing and stuff, and it was a really cool reception. And all of a sudden, my vision just went. I could see three of everybody, And I thought maybe it had something to do with like a panic attack or something. It did cause me to have a panic attack because I was like, why can't I focus on anything? Why is my vision gone funky? And I had to like turn around to Darren and say, listen, we're gonna have to leave because my vision's gone. Like, and the drive home was horrible because the car lights in front were all weird. The cat's lights on the road was all weird because it was night time. Like I couldn't look at anything, and it made me feel sick. I couldn't walk in a straight line. Um, and my neurologist was quite neglectful. I'm not going to mention his name, obviously. Um, you're supposed to have your bloods checked every 3 months, and the whole time I was on that tablet for around about 3 years, and he never checked my bloods. And it was only until I forced him to send me to the phlebotomist that he checked my bloods, and he was like, yeah, your tablets become toxic in your blood. So make sure your neurologist does that, or your GP, that they check your blood levels every 3 months to make sure that your medicine hasn't become toxic in your blood, because that's very, very important. Because I would mention it to him in every appointment I had with him, and he didn't check. So yeah. Um, I was then put on Keppra, and it seemed to work for a little while. Made me a little bit agitated, but then it wasn't controlling my seizures. They were all over the place. I was put on Vimpat, and Vimpat is a very new drug, and they they were just like, we'd like to try this new drug on you. It's new on the market. It's only a couple of years old. Blah blah blah. My hair started falling out, and this wasn't listed as a possible side effect. It never happened to anyone before. So I went back and I said, my hair has fallen out. And I had actually gathered the hair that had fallen out, like in the shower and stuff, because it was coming out in clumps, like. And I was like, okay, I'm going to have to gather this as evidence for my next appointment. So gathered the hair, and when my neurologist was like, how much hair have you lost? I pulled it out of my bag. It was like a plastic baggie, and I just was like, that's how much hair I've lost since the last time I've seen you, which was like 2 months. And I have very thick hair anyway, um, and so it was great for me. I was kind of like, great, I don't have to go to the hairdresser to get my hair thinned because it's like thin anyway now. But I had bald patches here and there, and it happened recently. I lost some of my hair started falling out when my sonogram dosage went up, and I shaved my hair back and just let my hair uh, grow back, and it's grown back thicker. I kept shaving it, and um, so it would grow back thicker, and it worked, while my body got adjusted to the medication. One of the most common things I get is shaky hands, and I see this in my dad as well. He gets shaky hands, and I think that is a really common thing with people with epilepsy, and side effects from their tablets, or just side effects from the disorder. The neurological disorder is shaky hands, and so I think a lot of people can relate with that. Is the just kind of little tremors in your hands, like that's my hands normally, so they're always a little bit shaky. So it's hard to have a steady hand, and I do makeup artistry, so you need a bit of a steady hand. So I have to, there's some like little details like doing eyeliner and stuff like that I really have to steady my hand for. But it doesn't inhibit my daily life, you know. Um, but everyone has different reactions to different tablets, so you shouldn't take my experience my experiences with different tablets and say, oh my gosh, this is going to happen to me, because it might not. Um, you might be on Vimpat and have a wonderful experience with it, not have any hair loss or anything like that. You might take Tegretol and find it works very, very well for you, and you might take Evelyn and find it works very, very well for you. Um, and or you might take sonogram and find that it does not work for you. Like it's all about the person. As I said, you could get 10 people with the same type of epilepsy in the same room, give them all the same tablet, you'll get 10 different answers as to how it's working for them. And no one person is the same, no one's body is the same. So, it's all about how that person's body works with the tablet. Um, I'm trying to think of other um, side effects that I've had or have on a daily basis. Um, I've had like twitches in my eye, stuff like that, neuralgia, uh, facial neuralgia. I'm not even going to attempt to say the word. Um, I get bouts of that a lot. I'm not sure if it's a side effect of the tablet or actually a side effect of having epilepsy itself. Because I got checked by a dentist to see if there was a trapped nerve or anything. Got X-rays done, and there isn't a trapped nerve. So yeah, because I wanted to rule that out first. So it seems to be linked with my epilepsy, and I don't get it in the same place each time, and it always lasts for 4 days. The first day isn't as bad. The two middle days are the worst, and then the last day isn't as bad, and then it's gone. And it could hit me anywhere, like anywhere in the face or the head, and it's very very painful. It's really really awful when it happens. And I didn't know what it was at first, but it felt like I'd been stabbed in the face. Like, it was awful. It's a stabbing, painful feeling. Like, and it just, oh, it's just awful. Wouldn't wish it on anyone. Like, trying to think. Trying to think about my dad. Oh yeah, one thing as well you may notice, and this is coming from being studying makeup artistry, because I'm also doing my eye tech qualification, which is skin and eye care. You may notice that you will get purple bags under your eyes, especially people, because I was diagnosed at 15, especially teenagers. You may notice that you'll start to develop bags under your eyes at a very young age. I noticed this when I was in my teens. I was like, oh my god, why have I got bags under my eyes? Like, I get enough sleep, I drink a lot of water, what the, what's going on here? The reason this is because you can see it now in my eyes. This area here, your eye area, is linked to your kidneys. All different parts of your face, like your cheeks, and this part here is linked to your lungs and your heart, and this part is linked to your kidneys. The amount of medication that you take, and how it affects your kidneys, will affect the skin around your eyes. And because epilepsy medication, some of it can be very, especially older medication, can be very very hard to digest on your on your body. It can affect your kidneys, and it can affect the skin around your eyes. So you will notice, unfortunately, that you get bags a little bit earlier than most people. Might have to wear a little bit more concealer, things like that. But that's just a minor thing, really. I noticed that my dad, he's very very pronounced bags under his eyes for his age, um, compared to my mum, and so yeah, just, and the only way to combat that is to drink plenty and plenty of water. But as I said, don't drink too much, because it has been shown that drinking too much water can provoke a seizure. So I hope that was informative, and I hope you enjoyed my makeup as well while I was doing this video. Okay, bye.